From an early age, we are taught how to be, how to think, how to behave, how to conduct ourselves on a daily basis. Because if it's not your parents telling you what to do and how to do it, it's the school system, it's the this, it's the that. So it's challenging for a lot of us once we get to the next stages in life, like adulthood and so on and so forth. Sometimes there are situations that call for different behaviors. And because we are not used to being that, you don't know what to do. And that includes and involves dealing with the self and dealing with trauma. The previous edition of society said, like, we don't talk about certain things. Keep it in the house, keep it under wraps, blah, blah, blah. While beings and you and I and whoever were suffering. And that's not to say that, my household was on some crazy next level stuff. I'm not saying that. But the point is that if you live long enough, you have experienced some sort of trauma. And we've been taught, oh, don't think about it. Just let it go. Move on. But sometimes you can't. Depending on, what you experienced, you might not be able to just move on quickly and go to the next stage. Something might still be bothering you. So I think it's important that we recognize, okay, well, we can move forward, but it does take work and effort. You can't just ignore your situations away and then expect them, hey, good morning, I'm filming, just making some videos, and expect them to just go away. Things happen and we do have to address it, and we can move forward once we address it. But if you don't recognize, oh man, I'm hurting or upset about something, it can grow. And it can grow into a situation that is more challenging to handle, because it might be when you least expect it. Or maybe you're someone who every time you sit down, you're hearing or thinking about some horrible situation that happened to you in the past, and you can't ever just be in the moment by yourself. You can't be in silence. You can't just sit and relax without some memory popping back up. Maybe it's a negative memory, but it doesn't have to be that way. We weren't taught as a collective how to handle those things. We were taught to ignore them and push them to the side. But that's not healthy, and it will manifest and show itself in your life in different ways, whether it be like misplaced anger or self-sabotage or, seeking temporary pleasures, whatever. But, it's important to recognize and remember, one, you're not alone. Everyone, if they live long enough, has experienced some level of trauma. 2, it's not permanent. And 3, you can get over it and you can get past it. It's not necessarily an easy journey to get past certain levels of pain that you might have experienced or anger or whatever. But, everyone on this entire planet has done something that they're not proud of, okay? If you've lived a life worth living at all, you've probably done more than 1 or 2, and it's totally fine, even if you've done a lot. I mean, it is what it is, and no one has a right to tell you who and where you should be in your life. They didn't walk in your shoes. The only person that knows what you've experienced is you. And so no one else has a right to tell you how you're supposed to be or where you're supposed to be. Because no one, even if you had like the same, relatively same situation growing up, everyone is unique. Everyone is different. So some people, they might get hit or something and it don't even faze them. Others, it like crushes them. Someone else might get yelled at and doesn't even faze them. Someone else gets yelled at and it really impacts them. Everyone's different. Someone gets a hug and it doesn't faze them. Someone else gets a hug and it really impacts them. Everybody's different. And, that's okay. But it's important to recognize that everyone is different so that you don't necessarily compare yourself or say, oh my gosh, even if you're like older or more seasoned. I like to say seasoned because it's better at the time. But, you might be like, oh my gosh, well, this other person came from where I came from. And, they started when they were 5 doing stuff. And so now, I'm over here with my old age and I haven't done anything. But like, by whose definition haven't you done anything? Like, do you have memories? Do you have things that you're thankful for? And the more that we're learning about these different beings that are like celebrities and their quality of life and things, like, it's like we want to be them and they want to be us. Like that Drake song, they want to be you. Something, I forgot what he said. But it's not fun, I would think, to not be able to go outside because, there's going to be thousands and millions of people around you. And everywhere you go, someone knows you and wants to take a picture with you. And like, you can't even say, no, I don't want to take a picture today without being blasted as a turd waffle and like a mean person because you don't want to take pictures with people. It's like, what in the world? Honestly. So, those kinds of things. Or like having your life controlled and people really telling you where to go, what to do, how to be, all that type of stuff. So I just wanted to say, take some time to really be grateful for where you are, and what you currently have, because you made it. You're still here, you didn't give up. Even if you did give up, we've got, time is so strange right now that anything can happen at any moment. We're not bound to the same things. And to be quite frank, some of us just don't have to follow the same energetic rules. Like, you don't have to follow the rules and limitations set on you by societal standards. The impossible doesn't have to be impossible. It's only impossible because it's impossible to you, but someone else has done it. Someone else has done something in a much worse position than you are in with less time, and they still did it, whatever that thing might be. So wherever you are, if you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do anything, and this is, and all this has happened, there is someone somewhere in this world, and you can look it up, there is someone who likely had the same situation or worse and did it in the time frame that you are concerned about. And I've noticed that when you have a clearer mind, things just kind of start to move in a certain way. And so right now I am focused on being present and being in the moment and choosing to be happy. And I can say that I do see a change in my outer as I continue to elevate and cleanse and feed my inner. And that took and takes, complete detoxing from normal society, complete detoxing from the news and the internet and social media and all those things, a complete detox and removal from my life so that I can control what goes into my mind. Because like in the 7 laws of dark power by Brother Panic, and like just is, we are higher levels of learning here, okay? But anyway, in that book he mentions that mind control is not it's not a bad thing. Just because there are tools out here and we know at this point that like fear mongering is here, and just because the tool is used as fear-mongering does not mean that it is a bad tool. You can use that tool and create something positive, like some affirmations. I have affirmation videos. I make my own subconscious programming, okay? And sometimes I do watch like certain things, but it also took like disengaging. Like, I don't know what is going on. Like, after the Diddy and Cassie thing, I kind of just was like, oh, this is too much for me. I don't want to be involved in this. I don't want nothing to do with this. So I just kind of like stepped back from all the gossip, like everything. So people not many anymore, but like if someone asks me like, what do you think about this thing? I'm like, I don't know. But what do you think about the Super Bowl and Usher? And I'm like, I didn't even know he was performing, because I'm just so not even there, honestly. So, but it requires and still requires change, because now I understand when people say like, this is a lifestyle. It's not a one and done. It's not a, okay, just put it in the microwave and take it out. This is a complete lifestyle and way of existing and way of being. It's totally different from what I was expecting when I first started this journey. Okay? Very much new. And very much like, and as I'm talking through it, realizing, wow, like this is a lifestyle change. Changing your reality is not just, one thing. It's a literal way of being change. You have to change what you listen to. You have to change it. You have to change what you consume. And that is the only way to begin to cleanse. And when I say begin, I mean begin, because it is a life thing. And who knows how quickly you're going to evolve. And every time you evolve, you're going to be like, wow, I didn't know that I could feel like this. I didn't know life could be so, whatever. And then, or I didn't know I could be so whatever. And then you have another realization. And then you get to the point where you realize like, wow, it's just a never-ending cycle of cleansing, learning, and healing. It's never ending. But that's a positive thing. It's cool. It's cool, because we'd rather be healing than getting hurt. And then you start to learn, okay, well, I can control my emotions. Like, I don't have to be upset just because this person's upset. I can still be happy. I can still smile. Okay. Wait. I can make my own subconscious programmings. Wow. So, that's kind of what happened. And I think that it's just good to remember, you have more power than you think you do. Time, whatever. Time is what you call it. But no matter where you are, you're not alone. And if that means like to cleanse, and you really want to cleanse, you have to change who you're surrounded by. Maybe at some point you have to move. Maybe you gotta stop talking to people. But I like Shira Goddess said, the more you learn, the more levels things have. So now when they say like, dang, I forgot what I was to say. But it's like the more I learn now, the more I understand behind words, and the phrase will come back to me if it's supposed to, that I was about to say. But yeah, man, you can decide how you want to be. Alright. Please be sure to like this video, because it does help. And comment. Let me know what you got, and I will respond. At least for right now. If you're watching this as I'm posting it, and I'll be able to respond. But soon, maybe not. Alright.